what's going on, guys? I'm Nick Gray from Phandroid, and today we are doing a camera comparison with the OnePlus 7 Pro, which I'm using to record right now, and the all-new ASUS Zenfone 6, which also came out this summer. Now, these two devices do have a lot in common, but from the camera perspectives, they are completely different. So we're going to be looking at some side-by-side photos and videos to see how these two devices actually compare. And make sure you keep an eye on the bottom of the screen to see which device is being used to record as well. Everything that you see in this video is going to be recorded with either of these two devices. So with that, let's jump in to see how the camera specifications of these two devices compare before we take a look at some photos and some videos. We're going to start things off with the specs of the OnePlus 7 Pro, which actually has three cameras on the back. The main one being a 48 megapixel sensor, and then a second 8 megapixel sensor with 3x optical zoom. Both of those actually feature optical image stabilization for 4K 60 frames per second video recording, and then the 16 megapixel ultra wide 13 millimeter sensor and lens combination, but that one there actually doesn't record video at all. On the front of the OnePlus 7 Pro, you actually get a pop-up camera, which actually gives you that full edge-to-edge display. It captures images at 16 megapixels and can record video at 1080p. For the camera setup on the ASUS Zenfone 6, you're looking at two camera sensors on the back of this phone. The main one being a 48 megapixel sensor, which is the same one used on the OnePlus 7 Pro, and then a 13 megapixel sensor paired with an ultra-wide 11 millimeter lens. And that camera module there is a little bit different than what you've typically seen because it actually is used as a flip-up module, allowing you to use that as your front-facing camera as well, both with the 48 megapixel and the 13 megapixel ultra-wide, allowing you to get more versatile pictures than you typically would on most smartphones. Now that we've taken a look at the specifications on these two smartphones for their camera setups, let's take a look at some side-by-side photo and video comparisons to see how these two phones actually compare. Recording video with the front-facing cameras on both of these phones simultaneously is practically impossible due to their flip-up and pop-up front-facing cameras. But this is a look at what you can get with that main sensor when it's flipped up as a front-facing camera on the Zenfone 6. Unfortunately, you can't actually switch between the standard lens and the wide-angle lens once you've started recording video. And then this here is the wide angle lens on the Zenfone 6. It's nice to be able to have the ability to have both of those lenses up there, but as you can see, with the wide angle lens, it's definitely not as bright due to the image sensor not being as high quality and the lens itself not allowing in as much light as the standard lens does. I'm picking things up with the OnePlus 7 Pro right where we left off with the Zenfone 6. This here is the front-facing camera recording video. It is a lot better than that ultra-wide lens and the sensor that's used on the Zenfone 6, especially at nighttime. As you can see, this lets in a lot more light, but it's not quite as good as what you get out of that main sensor, which can also be used for the front-facing camera on the Zenfone 6, especially when we're recording video. That one there allows for 4K video at 60 frames per second, while this one here only records 1080p video at 60 frames per second. Looking back over these photos and the videos captured with these two devices, it's pretty obvious that the OnePlus 7 Pro here is the clear winner. It does a lot better with white balance, color reproduction, and even low light performance. I mean, it's not as good as what you would get from flagship devices like the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, but it's still a lot better than what the ASUS Zenfone 6 can do. And that's mainly because ASUS really hasn't had a lot of time or isn't known for having good cameras on its devices. That being said though, having those two main sensors on the back being able to flip up and being used as the front-facing camera, as I'm doing right now, I'm recording this with the front-facing 13 megapixel ultra wide lens, something that you can't do on most other devices. The image quality that you get for front facing shots is better than anything else that's out there on the market. And then there's the difference in price as well. The ASUS Zenfone 6 costs $499, while the OnePlus 7 Pro here starts at $669. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, which device you would rather use for your front-facing camera and also main camera overall. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one.